The French battalion that fought in the Korean War was created by Lieutenant General Raoul Margrin Verneri, who was an Austro-Hungarian-born French Army hero of World War I, various interwar conflicts, and of course World War II. He had even tried to join the French Foreign Legion when he was 15 years old, but he was rejected due to his age. But he would join the Legion in 1924, and by 1950 he was the second inspector of the French Foreign Legion. The Lieutenant General also accepted a demotion back down to the rank of Lieutenant Colonel in order to command the French battalion in Korea. The battalion arrived in Pusan, South Korea on November 29, 1950, and was placed under the operational control of the American 23rd Infantry Regiment of the 2nd Infantry Division. Under American and French command, the battalion carried out several successful early actions in late 1950 and earned the respect of U.S. 8th Army Commander General Matthew Ridgway, who would later replace General Douglas MacArthur. From January 7th to the 12th of 1951, the French battalion participated in the first and second battles of Wonju, where it stopped the North Korean advance. This was followed by the Battle of the Twin Tunnels from February 1st to the 2nd, and the Battle of Chipyong-ni from February 3rd to the 16th. During all of these battles, the French resisted the attacks of 4 Chinese divisions for 3 days and allowed for the American 8th Army to score a victorious counteroffensive against the Communists. 3 weeks later, the battalion was engaged in combat for Hill 1037, where about 50 miles east of Seoul they had suffered 40 dead and 200 wounded while attacking and capturing the hill. In the spring of 1951, the French battalion crossed the 38th parallel into Hwangcheon region. The destruction of an engineering platoon led to a partial routing of the French battalion. However, it allowed for U.S. troops to stop the new Chinese offensive. So once again, the battalion is carrying the UN here. In the fall, the French took part in the Battle of Heartbreak Ridge with American, Dutch, and South Korean troops, where they defeated the Chinese and North Koreans once again. In the course of these combats, which lasted a month, 60 French soldiers were killed and a further 200 were wounded. The French battalion faced fierce and heavy enemy mortar and artillery fire on sloped enemy bunkers. 1952 saw the battalion participate in the Battle of Arrowhead Hill from October 6th to the 10th. During this battle, the French made good use of close-range combat tactics with artillery support, waging a lethal battle of positions similar to that of Verdun during the First World War. The battalion put a halt in Cheongwon, South Korea, to another Chinese offensive towards Seoul. This stiff resistance resulted in 47 French dead and 144 wounded Frenchmen. The total Chinese losses against the French battalion were unknown, but were estimated to be around 2,000 men. During the final year of the Korean War, 1953 witnessed the battalion primarily fighting around Seoul in several battles to prevent the Chinese and North Koreans from reaching the city. Following the signing of the Korean Armistice Agreement in July of 1953, the French battalion left Korea with 5 French citations to order the army, the French Folgore in the colors of the military medal, 2 Korean presidential citations, and 3 American Distinguished Unit citations. The battalion was well known for being able to withstand any enemy attack, no matter the odds, as their defenses were able to defeat swarms of communist troops. Additionally, the battalion was able to take any hill that they were ordered to and hold it until ordered otherwise. After Korea, the battalion was immediately shipped off to fight in the Indochina War, where the French were fighting against the Viet Minh. With their strength would be increased to a regiment sized with Indochinese soldiers. During their service in Indochina, the unit participated in the brutal battles of Mangyang Pass in June of 1954 and the Battle of Chudre Pass a month later, where it suffered heavy casualties. Between its arrival in Indochina and the ceasefire on July 20th, 1954, the 1st Battalion suffered 238 killed or wounded, and the 2nd Battalion suffered 202 killed or wounded. Furthermore, 34 Indochinese troops assigned to the unit had been killed in action. On September 1st, 1954, the regiment was disbanded and reduced back down to battalion size once again. The battalion remained in Indochina until July 17, 1955, where it embarked from Saigon to Algeria to participate in the suppression of the ongoing insurrection there. In August of 1955, the battalion landed in Algiers to fight for France in the Algerian War. They began a series of garrison and search-and-destroy operations in the Constantine Department. On September 1, 1960, the battalion was augmented with the 156th Infantry Regiment and received the designation of the 156th Régiment d'Infanterie Régiment de Courrier. In Algeria, the regiment suffered 58 killed in action and was repatriated back to France after the signing of the Evian Accords, which ended the war in Algeria in 1962, and the unit was disbanded for a final time upon its return to France, where many of the men had been fighting overseas for 12 years. Did you know about the French battalion in the Korean War before this video? Is there anything that I left out? What other nationalities in the Korean War would you like for me to cover? Write in the comments, and thank you for watching.